fellow gamers, it's your boy Zero Wink, and I'm back with another Kickshaw Angle discussion. And today I'm going to be covering Microsoft. So let's jump right into it. Tom Warren has come out and said that the streaming from Xbox to PC Windows 10 is awesome and a true competitor of remote play. Now this is great for Xbox owners. Xbox owners are going to be able to stream to any Windows 10 device in their house. At this point, it's only local, so it doesn't have the reach that remote play does, but with a little bit more tweaking, it will definitely eventually have that reach. You'll be able to stream to your iPad, suspend and resume from a hotel room. How cool would that be? So with a little bit more improvements, I think this is going to be a great feature. And I think both remote play and the streaming to Windows 10 is awesome features. This is great for Xbox gamers. The only limitation and the only cautionary is the fact that at this point in time, it is very limited. It did say that in the article. Tom Warren would like to see less limitations on that particular feature. The second bit of small news I have is Xbox One will receive thousands of apps when Windows 10 arrives. Now, it wasn't specified whether these will be like Flappy Bird or cell phone app type games or actual games, because apps has been used for actual retail games, for downloadable games, for games like Warframe on these particular platforms. So thousands of apps could mean new features. So Xbox is definitely putting up a fight. And the last little bit of news is Lifeless Planet will release on Xbox One on May 13th. And I recommend every Xbox owner go out and try this. The more you try out the new games, the more they see that you want these types of games and you want these types of experiences, the more they start getting exclusive indies, the more they start putting into more exclusives on the platform. Just try it. Now, the main topic of this particular discussion, Deck 13 will publish 4 games exclusively on Xbox One, including Lords of the Fallen 2. So if you loved Lords of the Fallen, you're going to have to get an Xbox One to play number 2. This is a very good move for Xbox. And I'm not going to talk about it being a good move because they got 4 games exclusively. The publisher, the developer, Deck 13, that is making these 4 games is a very, very talented studio. What they were able to do with Lords of the Fallen, I realize everyone said it was a Dark Souls clone and everything else like that. There's an article, I'm going to post a link in the description, that states why they created the game the way they did, and that Demon Souls and Dark Souls had very big influences on the gameplay for Lords of the Fallen. So basically, Microsoft is trying to get that Bloodborne for Eastern audiences. So obviously, Phil Spencer knows the potential in niche titles, because if you have a whole bunch of niche titles, you get all those niche players, especially a lot of niche titles that play to a lot of different types of gamers. So this is a very, very smart move. I think this is the trial period. I think if Deck 13 does well, then Microsoft will pick them up exclusively as a first-party development team. At this point, we don't know the particulars of the deal, so we don't know whether they're actually a first-party team or just a third-party team that's developing games for Microsoft. And if that's the case, is this what Phil Spencer and the Xbox team meant when they said we will repay the fans for what happened with Street Fighter? Because they're getting 4 exclusives from Deck 13, a very, very talented studio. If you haven't read this article, the post-mortem for Lords of the Fallen, go check it out. The link's in the description. It's a great read, and it shows a lot of the trials and tribulation that they went through to get this game out. And maybe it will bring a little bit to light how much these developers go through to give us the games that we love. It's not easy to make these games. It's not easy to develop these games, especially a AAA title. So this is a great pickup for Microsoft. I always thought PlayStation should pick up Ready at Dawn Studios because they have the talent to rival that of Naughty Dog. If Phil Spencer continues picking up these new rookie development studios, that's great for the future of Xbox. That's great for the future of Xbox first-party titles. So I'm interested to see whether it's more of a deal like Insomniac has with Microsoft, where it's more of a third-party development team creating an exclusive, or whether they're more of a first-party development team. They want to be a publisher directly for Microsoft, but I believe this is going to be their trial period. And I believe the first game that comes out, they're going to put everything they got into it because this is the trial period. Because if they do well, I think Microsoft will back this studio. This studio deserves to be backed. Microsoft is doing it right. They're picking up rookie studios that are showing high potential, which is what Sony has been doing since they started on the PlayStation days. I mean, they've just been building their first-party studios. That's where all your money is, your first-party studios, your first-party IPs. And PlayStation has over 240. And add to that, a lot of people go, oh, well, they have 14 studios. They have 14 parent first-party studios that has a whole bunch of mini studios. So that's 14 parent studios with a whole bunch of second-party and third-party mini studios that work under the parent companies. So this is very, very smart. If they can if Deck 13 can become a publisher for Microsoft, then Microsoft has their next parent studio, like Black Tusk Studios or 343 Industries, or these big studios that are going to lead them into the future. So I think this is a great move for Microsoft. I've been saying it. All three systems, Wii U, PlayStation, Xbox, are all going to be just fine this gen. I believe this gen is going to last 7 to 8 years because of how long it's taking to develop these games. It takes about 2 years, so I believe these are going to be 8-year consoles. I believe Nintendo's coming to the end of its consoles, and I believe Nintendo will probably release its next console 2 years earlier than Microsoft and Sony. This is going to be a great generation for gaming. Anyway, guys, that's the Microsoft news for the day. This is Zero. Keep gaming, gamers. And I will see all of you guys and gals next time.